What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Flash video. So if you're new to the channel, please do consider leaving a like and a subscribe down below if you did enjoy it, of course. So the Flash this week was actually really good. I haven't enjoyed the last few episodes. It just felt a bit is the best way I can really describe the last few episodes. The last episode was incredibly boring. I don't like Aminette Black. It's a real shame because I was a big champion of Katie Sackhoff when she joined the show. But here it is just really, really rubbish, to be honest. That's the best way I could describe it. But this week we opened with a really, really cool moment with Argus. And my favourite parts of this show, or any of the show in the Arrowverse, is when you see other characters from other shows pop up here in their different shows. That's why I love the MCU so much, because you get so many references and crossovers. It's just really cool seeing that, and it makes you realise that this is a vibrant world. It's a nice kind of shared universe, which really it is here, isn't it? Let's be honest, and we've had some really cool crossovers here with now Diggle on the show, but this was not Diggle whatsoever at the start, and I was like, oh cool, Diggle, we're going to open up and we're going to see some cool stuff with him, and then we realised slowly that's not the Diggle that we know and love at all. And it's interesting to see. I'm not sure how the Thinker knew who Diggle is, but I guess he used and hacked Argus, I guess, that in that way, because he's in obviously Central City and Diggle's a big thing over in Star City. But I guess the media, he would know him from like the trial that's happening right now. He would obviously have hacked Argus at some point to know exactly how to get in. So yeah, I guess that's the way around it in that logic. But it's really cool, and I have to say this was a really good, really good opener, with the Thinker being absolutely badass. We had a couple of weeks ago, we had with Mercury Labs when they were trying to steal those kind of server computer things. I couldn't remember exactly what they were, but that was cool when he was fighting. But here he has gone full. He knows all his powers. He's able to utilize them really well, and in this case, he's a real legitimate threat, which obviously he was before, but because he knew the plan, he knew what would happen, he knew all the variables of what would happen. But here he's actually fighting, so he looked completely cool when using all of these powers at once. And there's a really cool hallway scene, which if you've watched any of the Netflix Marvel shows, you would realise that they have, they kind of got the monopoly on hallway fight scenes there, especially in Daredevil and then in the Defenders. But here, this is giving its run for its money here when they're fighting all these Argus agents. And I really do like when Argus gets involved. It's pretty darn cool. I like that, and it really does make me lament the fact that we never really got that whole Suicide Squad, more of the Suicide Squad in Arrow, or a spin-off, because we had that movie, which, yeah, it was alright, I guess. That's all I'll ever say about Suicide Squad. That was really much it for Diggle. It wasn't a huge crossover, to be honest. It wasn't a big one. We're expecting more of Diggle maybe in this episode, but it's not what. But the way it turned out, I really liked. Now, the big thing in this episode is that Barry can share the Speed Force, so he is able to bring others into Flash time, which I think sounds pretty. It's rubbish. I don't like that name at all. I think just saying that it's, speed, like the kind of the really fast time. I think that Flash time just sounds really corny and gimmicky. But I guess it's a really corny and gimmicky show because it's on the CW. But here we have him try and train, of course, Cisco and Caitlin, and he's training those to use or be inside the time because they need to save these agents who have been taken hostage. And because the Thinker's using Neil Borland's powers to actually, really power all of his satellites, which I think was pretty cool. Nice little reference there to the comics. Of course, he was used to actually power Iron Heights and the rest of the pipeline in the comics. So really good throwback there to Jeff Johns' era of The Flash with Wally West. And I say that as an iconic run. I would really recommend going and reading that if you're interested at all in reading some of the source material, because a lot of the characters in there are a lot different to what they are here. Aminette Black leads a whole group of metas to fight Barry, and then the Thinker allows all this to happen and then takes over Keystone City. So we get all of this is going on while we have that psychotherapist, this therapist again on the show, who must be wondering what the hell is going on? She's like the night nurse, really, from Marvel, where she patches up all these heroes, but here, this is the therapist who heals everyone else, which I thought was pretty cool. So I did like the fact that continuity between all of the characters. But we're getting to the root of Caitlyn's trauma. She's trying to bring out Killer Frost again. She's trying to really bring her out, which I guess going to therapy would work if there's no sort of real reason or rhyme or reason why she is unable to call upon Killer Frost or even sometimes control Killer Frost. It's very Hulk based. But as we learn towards the end of the episode, we actually learn that Killer Frost has always been a metahuman. She's always had her powers from when she was a kid, and this traumatic moment which really did kind of, she's tried to block out as a child, well, this is the reason why she stopped being Killer Frost. She was always like this, or at least the accident brought out that Killer Frost in her, and she's repressed that memory and forgotten all about it until the particle accelerator, things with Savitar as well. This has all sort of unlocked those powers, of course, as the trauma has gone on and on, with the trauma of fighting Savitar, losing Ronnie like 3 times, and everything that's happened in the show. Well, this has actually unlocked her powers. So I think that mentally, she now thinks that it's gone after the encounter with the Thinker, but it's always been there. So it's just a complete and utter mental thing. But this raises massive questions, because in the Arrowverse, metahumans didn't really exist until the particle accelerator. We now know that, well, before the particle accelerator, there was a girl, or a little version of Killer Frost, a Killer Frost Jr. running around. Now, another question is, was she always looking like that? Did she always have that look? Or was this simply a self-preservation mode of coming out and having this look about her, which I thought was pretty interesting, to say the least, that's going to go on. I think that's going to be a big mystery moving on over into Season 5. So we're going to have that mystery moving on. We've got the finale next week, and the mystery moving forward of Killer Frost. Now, the sharing the speed is a big thing as well, because we've got the mystery girl still, so we don't know who she is just yet, but she will be revealed in the finale. Now, the fact that the Flash, and they've unleashed that, well, all the Speed Force comes from Barry, it's sent outwards, that's a big thing, and it could have an insight into who this mystery girl is. And also, Cecile had that really cringy scene where she was doing all like this surfer dude talk, because she was, now her powers are stretching, which is just ridiculous, just really cringe, when she was saying all that stuff, that kind of surfer dude stuff, like Sean Penn in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It was just so bad, but it gives us an insight into the fact that she is able to look into the parts where people don't want you to know about. So with that in mind, someone, of course, the mystery girl is very, very sort of invested in this new child that's going to be born. Well, if she's there and Cecile has those powers, she's going to be imitating her, and then she is going to say, this house is bitchin'. So it's come full circle. So that's probably what's going to happen there, and I think that will be how the mystery of the mystery girl is revealed. So I think that's pretty awesome. So overall, I thought it was a really good episode. I really did enjoy it. The Enlightenment is a real big thing here. The Enlightenment, don't like the idea that it makes people stupid, and that's his real plan, because he wants people to be smarter and shy away from emotion and silly things like pop culture, for example, and be enlightened. But he's going to make them stupid. However, he is a teacher, of course, and he's going to teach them. So he's very much an egomaniac. And the fact that, well, he wants to shy away from emotion, it does make sense, especially with his kind of splitting with his wife and how he has been throughout the show. To be honest, the only person who ever showed him emotion was his wife, who has now been found by Iris, and his wife, I expect, will be the downfall of the Thinker in the finale. So that is it for this video. Please drop a like, please subscribe, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.